I have buried friends. I have survived losses that would break the average person in half. Every single morning, I wake up with a stillness in my chest that I have had years so dark I could not see the end of them. And yet, most 30-year-olds will never know. Today, I want to tell you why. My name is not important. What is important is this: I am 97 years old. I live alone. I cook my own meals. I walk every morning. I laugh every day.
My name is not important. What is important is this: I am 97 years old. I live alone. I cook my own meals. I walk every morning. I laugh every day. And when I lay my head on the pillow at night, I am at peace. Not because my life has been easy, not because I have been spared pain, not because I have some rare gift that you do not, but because somewhere in the long middle of my life I discovered differently. Are you ready? Then let us begin. Every morning, before the sun has fully decided to show up, before the world has started its noise, before the first notification has lit up a single screen, I sit, just sit, with a cup of something warm, in my favorite chair by the window, where the light comes in slowly, the way good things always do. For the first 20 minutes of my day, I belong to no one. No problem is allowed entry. No worry is given a seat. The world, with all its urgency, all its demands, all its breathless need for my attention, waits outside, like a guest who has not yet been invited in. I have done this for 41 years, and I want you to understand something. This is not laziness. This is not a luxury for people with nothing to do. This is the most disciplined, most intentional, most life-changing thing I do all day. Because the world will spend the next 16 hours trying to pull you apart, pulling your attention toward screens, toward deadlines, toward other people's emergencies, toward fears that are not even yours to carry. And the only way to survive that, the only way to remain yourself through all of it, is to know deeply and quietly who you are before any of it begins. Silence is not empty. Silence is where you remember that you exist beyond your problems, that you are more than your to-do list, that you were a full human being before this day started, and you will be one after it ends. If you take nothing else from today, take this. Give yourself 20 minutes of silence every morning, before the phone, before the news, before anyone else's voice enters your head. Just you, just the stillness, just the quiet, extraordinary fact that you are alive on another morning that was never guaranteed. Habit number 3. Never let the sun set on a chest full of anger. I learned this one the hard way. There was a man, a colleague, someone I had once trusted completely, who wronged me in a way I will not describe here. It does not matter what he did. What matters is what I did with it afterward. I carried it. For 3 years, I carried that anger like a stone in the center of my chest. I carried it in my shoulders, always slightly raised, always slightly braced. I carried it in my jaw, clenched every night while I tried to sleep. I carried it into rooms where it did not belong and let it poison conversations that had nothing to do with him. And one evening, one ordinary, quiet evening, my wife looked at me across the dinner table. She did not say much. She rarely needed to. She just looked at me and said, "You are letting him live in your body rent-free, and you are the one paying the price." I did not sleep that night, not because I was angry, but because I knew she was right. That man had moved on. He was living his life, unaware, unbothered, completely free of the thing I was so faithfully carrying on his behalf. And I was the one suffering every single day, all by myself. The next morning, I made a decision. Not to forgive him because he deserved it, not to pretend what he did not happen, not to become naive or careless with my trust again, but to release the anger because I deserved peace more than I deserved to be right. It was not a dramatic moment. There was no music, no lightning, no sudden rush of relief. It was just a choice, a quiet, private, deeply personal choice. And I made it again the next day, and the day after that, until one morning I woke up and realized the stone in my chest was gone. Now, every evening before I sleep, I do a quiet inventory. Is there anyone I am carrying tonight? Is there any anger, any resentment, any bitterness that I am about to take to bed with me? Because anger does not stay in the mind. It moves into the blood, into the stomach, into the heart, into the cells of a body that was designed for peace and is being asked night after night to store something it was never built to hold. Let it go. Not for them, for the body you still have to live in, for the sleep you still deserve, for the morning that is waiting, quiet and clean and full of possibility on the other side of tonight. Habit number 3. Find one beautiful thing every single day, without exception. I do not care how terrible your day was. There was something beautiful in it. One thing. Maybe it was the way light fell through the window at an angle that only exists for 3 minutes each afternoon. Maybe it was the smell of rain on dry ground, that smell that has no name, but that every human being on earth recognizes and loves. Maybe it was a stranger who smiled at you, a child laughing somewhere nearby, a song that came on exactly when you needed to hear it. One thing. For 60 years, I have kept a mental note, and some years an actual written one, of one beautiful thing I witnessed each day. Some days it was easy. Some days, the hard days, the grief days, the days when everything felt gray and pointless, I had to look much more carefully, but I always found it. And this practice, this small, stubborn, daily practice, changed the architecture of my mind. Let me explain what I mean. Your brain is not neutral. It does not observe your life objectively and report back evenly. It is a pattern-seeking machine, and it finds what it has been trained to look for. If you spend years, decades looking for what is wrong, broken, unfair, unkind, disappointing, you will find an endless, bottomless supply. The world will appear to confirm your worst fears about it at every turn. But if you train yourself, slowly, patiently, the way you would train a child to read, to also look for what is whole, what is tender, what is quietly, unexpectedly miraculous, you will find that too, in equal measure. Joy is not a feeling that arrives when your circumstances improved. It is a direction you learn to look, a muscle you build through daily use, a language you become fluent in only through practice. Find your one beautiful thing today. Write it down if you need to. Hold it gently before you sleep. And tomorrow, look again. Habit number 4. Move your body as an act of gratitude, not punishment. I walk every day. I have walked every day for as long as my legs have allowed me. And on the days they have made it difficult, I have still moved, slowly, carefully, with deep respect for what they are still willing to do for me at 97 years old. But I want to tell you something important about why I walk. I do not walk to burn anything off. I do not walk to correct anything. I do not walk because a doctor told me to, or because I feel guilty about what I ate, or because I am afraid of what will happen if I stop. I walk because I am grateful that I can. And this shift in the reason behind the movement changed everything. When you move your body to punish it, every step carries the weight of failure. Every drop of sweat is a reminder of something you ate, something you did not do, some standard you fell short of. And the body, sensitive, faithful, deeply responsive to the language you use with it, receives that message clearly. But when you move your body to thank it for carrying you through another day, for breathing without being asked, for healing wounds you forgot you even had, for doing 10,000 things every second that you will never fully understand and that it performs anyway, faithfully, without complaint, every step becomes something different. Every walk becomes a conversation between you and the extraordinary fact of your own aliveness. I have watched people destroy their relationship with their bodies by treating movement as a transaction, a debt to be paid, a punishment to be endured. And those same people, exhausted, resentful, disconnected from themselves, eventually stop moving altogether, because no one sustains a relationship built on punishment. Your body is not a debt. It is not a problem. It is not a machine to be optimized. It is the only home you will ever truly live in. Treat it accordingly. Move it with love. Move it with gratitude. Move it with the quiet understanding that somewhere, right now, someone is praying for the ability to do what you are about to take for granted. Habit number 5. Choose every day Who gets to live in your mind? This is the most important thing I will say today, so I need you to stay with me. You are not obligated to give everyone equal access to your inner world. Read that again if you need to. Some people, and I say this with no cruelty, only the hard-earned clarity of someone who has been around long enough to see the patterns. Some people are architects of chaos. They do not always mean to be. Some of them love you genuinely. Some of them have been through things that broke something in them that was never properly repaired. Some of them are simply lost, and they are trying to feel less lost by pulling you into their confusion. But every conversation with them leaves you feeling heavier, darker, smaller, more afraid of a future that has not even happened yet. And some people, fewer, rarer, worth far more than the world tells you they are, leave you feeling as though a window has been opened, as though fresh air has entered a room that had been closed too long, as though you remembered, just from being near them, that life is actually manageable, that you are actually capable, that tomorrow is actually worth getting up for. In my late 50s, I made a decision. A quiet, private, absolutely non-negotiable decision. I became very deliberate, very careful, very intentional about which voices I allowed close to the center of my life. This did not mean cutting people off without compassion. It did not mean becoming cold or isolated or afraid of connection. It meant understanding, finally, fully understanding that my mental peace is not a small thing. It is not a luxury. It is not selfishness. It is not something I can afford to sacrifice for the comfort of people who have not bothered to manage their own. My mental peace is the foundation of everything, of my health, of my relationships, of my capacity for joy, of my ability to be fully, genuinely present for the people who actually need me. Guard yours. I am 97 years old. I have no extraordinary genes that I know of. I have had no special luck. I have had heartbreak, the kind that takes years to name. Loss that still, on certain mornings, arrives without warning and sits beside me quietly while I have my tea. I have had hard years, long winters, seasons of doubt so deep I could not see the bottom of them. But I have also had mornings. Oh, I have had mornings so quiet, so full of light, so deeply, inexplicably peaceful, that I have sat in my chair by the window and thought with absolute sincerity, if this is all I get today, it is enough. That peace did not arrive from outside. No doctor gave it to me. No prescription filled it. No achievement unlocked it. No amount of money purchased it. It came from 5 habits, practiced imperfectly, practiced on the hard days and the easy days alike, practiced with the understanding that a long, happy, genuinely peaceful life is not something that happens to you. It is something you build, quietly, daily, one small, deliberate, deeply human choice at a time. You have more time than you think, and less time than you believe. Use it wisely, use it gently, use it, please, with far more kindness toward yourself than you have been. I will be thinking of you.